What's good, everybody? Welcome back to 876 United Facts TV. And yes, I'm your boy Tajay Brian, and we're going to have our post game reaction in its entirety. At this time, guys, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get straight into the reaction, guys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, by now, you guys are well aware that we won our fixture today against Omonia 3 goals to 2. Now, personally, I am pleased in the sense that we got the victory today. However, it is not what I need from my Manchester United team. I need us to be, taking the grip of games and to be rolling teams over, just as though Manchester City rolled us over on the weekend. Now, as it relates to the starting lineup, I was somewhat correct as it relates to the selection of the team. So our starting lineup, you guys already knew. David De Gea in goal, Lindelof and Martinez centre backs, Malacia and Diogo Dalot as our wing backs. Now, I'm happy to see Casemiro getting his second start with Eriksen and Bruno as our midfield trio, and our starting front three for this game was Ronaldo, Sancho, and Anthony. Now, I'm going to little by little analyze each of our starters' games, and then we'll get into the substitutes. Now, regarding our centre backs, Lisandro Martinez, in my opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, he played an average 6 for me because it wasn't one of his outstanding games where he was physical, where he read the play, and he was commanding. I mean, he did not play poorly to the likes of how Maguire would play or a Lindelof would play, but it's not one of the true Lisandro Martinez games, if you understand what I'm getting at. Now, Victor Lindelof, again, his strengths for me are his ability to play from the back. He's a good passer of the ball, but every other aspect of his game for me needs improvement. And one of which led to us conceding one of our goals today. Yet again, he's lapsing. He's not aware, and he needs to be aware. He needs to be more physical, right? And again, the high line is not part of his game, and Ten Hag system is based on playing a high line. And that for me is an issue with Lindelof. Now, let's talk about Malacia. I mean, again, Malacia had an average game. I would place him 5 out of 10. Nothing outstanding. Hence probably that's one of the reasons why he was substituted um out for Luke Shaw. And yet again, we can also pose the argument that possibly it was for rest purposes. And Dalo, right back, 6 out of 10 for me. Not one of his better games, but he didn't really have a poor game, right? Um, I would love for some consistency in that sort of performance that he has, but yet again, we just have to, you know, be open to such performances. Now, Casemiro, for me, he did his job. He stayed in front of our back four, and he protected them. And for me, there was a level of fluidity that I saw, in contrast to when McTominay plays. He's a better passer, breaking defensive lines than McTominay. And that for me was an upside. But he didn't really have an outstanding game. A lot of persons like to say that Casemiro didn't really play all that and da 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 da. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, for the years that he has been playing at Real Madrid, his game is not about the flashy pass, the dribbling, the shifting, and all of those things. He is very good at doing the simple things and the dirty work, right? And today we saw him do what he does best: keep it simple, keep possession, and protect our back four. Now, persons may say he didn't do his job to the T. Reason being is because we conceded two goals. Now, for me, the first goal that we conceded was as a result. Casemiro was still forward from the corner. Remember, they scored off of a corner that we had, right? And not, when I say half of a corner, I don't literally mean that we took the corner and they scored from it, right? But they countered after we took our corner, right? And they scored. So hence Casemiro would still be up the pitch. Now the second goal was scored on us and Casemiro was already substituted. So persons, I don't want to hear persons coming in the comment section saying that, hey, Casemiro did not do his job because we still conceded goals. So let's just put that out the way. Now, moving to our other two midfielders today. Ericsson, I think since coming off the international break, he has hit a dip in his form. You know, I haven't seen the same Ericsson. Where yes, he's still tidy with the football, still, you know, playing the right passes when needs be. However, he doesn't look as, you know, fluid as he was in the beginning of the season. And let's move on to Bruno Fernandez. Now, Bruno for me, still I've not seen that Bruno of the first season when he arrived to the club. You know, I'm still seeing a Bruno that is either still adjusting to a new manager or, you know, is off form, so to speak, because this is not the Bruno I am, you know, accustomed to. So let's talk about Ronaldo. A lot of persons say Ronaldo is out of it, but I think Ronaldo is rusty. You know, due to the fact that he has hardly got game time this season in comparison to last season. You know, but I think if he's given more minutes, I think Ronaldo will eventually get back in the groove of things. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, people. It's not an ordinary footballer we're talking about. No, Anthony, I think today was his best game in a United jersey, being that he played about 3 or 4 games. I think it's 3 games in total for the club, or four, whichever one, right? Didn't score a goal today, you know, didn't really do the Anthony things, the shifting and all of that. He's still adjusting to his new teammates and so on and so forth. Happy with the performance. I would give him a 6.5 out of 7 because still I still think that other things may need improvement, but with time and so on and so forth, that can be done. No, Sancho for me, poor game. You know, less running done by him in comparison to his teammates, and we could have seen the vast difference when Rashford came on for him. Rashford was, you know, on the ball. He was ready. You know, he was aggressive. He was the poacher. He was, you know, in the thick of things. Hence, that's why he came on. And for me, he's the man of the match today. Not only because he scored two, but because he showed the hunger and the desire when he came on. And our other substitute, that is Anthony Marshall. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that he, once he is fit, will do wonders for Manchester United this season. He looks very um sharp, you know, he looks ready. And I think the Ten Hag style fits Anthony Marshall. Now, this is going to be interesting as the season progresses to see how the number 9 position, you know, is sorted out because persons are saying Ronaldo needs game time to be Ronaldo, and Martial is giving a very good fight for his place as the number 9. No, McTominay for me, I think his substitution was just, you know, as a result, maybe resting Casemiro for Sunday's game. He didn't really do much to the point where I would give a criticism to say he had a poor or a good game. No, Fred, similarly, he came on and he was sort of sloppy with the ball, you know, typical of Fred. And I think though Fred came on because there was no Van de Beek again to play as a result of not being fit, and so on and so forth. And Luke Shaw also came on. I think again this is another change that Ten Hag was forced to make as a result of not wanting any more injuries to his favored 11 for the Premier League game on the weekend. But Luke Shaw came on, and we know Luke Shaw is a quality player. Maybe not in my opinion, I don't think he's the better of the two right now, but I know Luke Shaw is capable of putting in good performances. So, all in all, an average game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to get into some more things now regarding the game itself, just in a nutshell after this. Ladies and gentlemen, the few things that stood out to me, first and foremost, is that the team looks better with Casemiro. And what I'm saying here is that the team looks better in the ball progression phase. Now remember, the sole one of the major purposes of a CDM or central defensive midfielder is to, yes, defend, be the first line of defense for his defenders, and also in the attacking phase, he is the initiator in terms of the attack. He is one of the primary progressors of the ball, right? And for me, he looked better than how McTominay looks, because don't get me wrong, McTominay has been playing well for the past few games. But for me, why McTominay looked well is because he only did what Ten Hag instructed, meaning that just play the simple pass and allow Ericsson to make the more, dangerous passes, more defense prying opening passes. So for me, I saw Casemiro making more defense splitting passes than what McTominay would make. So it's more breaking the lines passes. And he also kept it simple. And I think for me, that is why the team looks better with him. So hopefully, this is the start of him, getting a regular start in the team. Now, another thing that stood out in the game is that Rashford is better as a left winger, not a number nine, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw that. I kept on saying, yes, I understood as to why Rashford was placed as the number nine, because the tactic for that specific game was counter-attack football, and Rashford is one of our fastest attacking players. So I could understand the notion as to why Rashford was the number nine. However, he's not to me, he's not a good number nine, because he's not good with his back to the goal, and he's not good as a fox in the box. But running in behind when a long ball is played, that's Rashford for you, right? But Rashford is better as a left winger. We saw what he could do, the dribbling, right? The cutting in, the taking the shots, causing a threat as a fast, wide player. We saw that that is what Rashford is best at. And if he is humble, and if he is, accepting of that role in the team, I think he will do wonders this season. Now, another so-called positive I would highlight is that we looked more expansive today. We looked as though we wanted to keep more possession of the ball, to be the dictators of the game. So in that regard, I would say that we looked better today. And we can argue that, oh, we played Omonia, right? So that would be a given that we would look that way. However, they still gave us a fight. The game ended 3-2, right? No, another thing I want to also highlight is that Anthony Marshall is a superstar, and we see that he's one of our best players, and he is a better number nine than Rashford in my opinion, right? We saw the link up play with him and Rashford today, which led to his goal, and we need more of that from Anthony Marshall. And as I said previously, it looks as though he is causing a very good headache for Eric Ten Hag as it relates to him either being the starting center forward than Ronaldo. But let's see what time will do. Now, just to highlight something which is not necessarily a positive, Sancho doesn't look confident, and I don't know if it's because there's more players in the team that is able to take his spot, but Sancho did not have a good game today and he's very inconsistent. We need Sancho to be ready to go at all times as long as he's fit, right? I need the Dortmund Sancho where he was providing for Erling Haaland, scoring goals, assisting. We need that Jadon Sancho, right? So, another downside to the game today, ladies and gentlemen, was that the defense did not look as sturdy as it, once did a few games ago with Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. And it's understandable because we had Victor Lindelof being the substitute defender in today's game. And person might say, oh, well, if Harry was there, Harry would be that person, and probably it would be a different case. But I think anybody other than Varane right now in the team, excuse me, that supports Lisandro Martinez as a defensive partner, the team will naturally be defensively weaker, right? Because Rafael Varane, as Eric Ten Hag instructed, is a leader around there, and his presence alone will cause a certain level of, confidence in how the team would defend. No, another sign and probably my final observation of the game is that, well, everybody knows this already, but I just want to re-highlight this one, is that Lindelof cannot play a high line, and also he's still, for me, the issues I keep having with Lindelof, he's not aggressive, aggressive in the sense that he gets bullied from strikers, and aggressive in the sense that I always find this tendency, not only with him, I see it in Maguire also. They don't clear as the first man from across, they do not clear the cross, from the near post. The ball is always coming across the body of Lindelof and Maguire, which a lot of time leads to us conceding. I'm not seeing a change in this, ladies and gentlemen. So these are my observations, right, guys? And that's now, it, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes our game reaction, right? And I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction and I hope it was insightful, right? So at this time, I'm going to just remind you guys to smash the like button, right? We need you guys to spam my algorithm so that the channel can grow, right? Also, I would love you guys to subscribe if you're new and share it with a friend if you're new. And if you're not new, still share the video. Guys, that's it. Tune in to our next video. I'm going to highlight some other pressing news that I have been doing some research on. So guys, see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go.